It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
It's Sunday morning, time to talk cars for the next 60 minutes on your weekly automotive radio show experience. I'm Nick Miles. You're listening to America's automotive radio show, Test Miles, locally created and nationally celebrated this week. This show is co-hosted by the father figure, Brad Boyer. He's in the studio, and also our supporting cast, Eugenia, the intern. A packed show this morning. Find out about the latest models that we have been test driving. Keith Edwards will be joining us from Smart Car to talk about the next generation of this small vehicle. Jim Brown from the Ron Tonkin Acura dealership will join us in the studio. Insight on some of the cars, the people, and the dealership that makes things and does things just a little bit differently. And also, we'll have Mark Schultz here for Cars and Coffee joining us. Need I say more? Now, this is the time and the part of the show where we like to review some of the cars we've been test driving this week. Actually had a good mix of cars this week. Let's start off with the Volvo XC60. So the XC60 I drove a little while ago. It's a 5-door crossover, a strong, efficient 4-cylinder engine. Volvo had a deal with Ford. They were owned by Ford for a long time, where Ford made their V6 engines. And the V6 engines have, that deal has expired this year. So Volvo are now making all their own engines, and all the new cars will have 4-cylinder engines in only. The handling's a little bit slow. Rear seats don't recline, which I'd like to see. 2-liter 4-cylinder, or they have a 2.5-liter 5-cylinder engine in it. 240, 250 horsepower, 6-speed auto, front wheel, all-wheel drive, 26 miles a gallon. The best you can get is about 31 on the highway, 23 in the city. I have to say, though, I do really like the vehicle. It goes up against the Mercedes-Benz GLK, the Audi Q5, Infiniti's QX50, X5 from BMW, maybe X3 from BMW, and Lincoln MKC and Lexus NX. It comes in a T5, a T5 all-wheel drive, T6E, and the T6 all-wheel drive, and the R design as well. Volvo's tech, they have a lot of new tech coming, but this car will start about $40,645. A good buy if you're looking for that safe Swedish SUV CUV. But the second car I've been driving this week, a lot more interesting. I mean, the Volvo XC60 is interesting, but not as interesting as the new Mazda MX-5 Miata. Wow. Everything they say about this car is great. It handles incredibly. It looks great. Yeah, it's still small and snug, and some of us may have to use a little Crisco on the outside of the car.
Some of us?
Yes, some of us. I think Jen, you could probably get in it without Crisco, but the rest of us might have to.
The getting in, it's the getting out.
I found that car very comfortable.
Yeah, that's right. You sat in there at Cars and Coffee,
Yeah,
didn't you?
it was perfectly comfortable for me.
That's what happens when you're 14. Everything is comfortable. When your shoulders are wider than your hips. That's when it gets much harder. A two-door, two-seater, soft top convertible, spirited performance, 50-50 weight balance, which I think is amazing. Transmission is user-friendly. The manual is great. The soft top is easy. It's a reasonable price. It is very noisy. They took sound deadening out of this car to try and lighten it up so you get better fuel economy. So the downside is on the freeway, I had to turn the radio up to old man. The setting that says old man on the radio, I had to turn it up there. I think it has a very snug cabin for the people who are a little bit more bulky of us in the radio studio today. No trunk space really. A little bit roll on the corners, but really nicely balanced. 4-cylinder 2-liter engine, 155 horsepower, 6-speed manual, 6-speed automatic. If you get the automatic, there's something wrong with you. Rear-wheel drive, as we found out in the wet this morning, that they fairly easy to spin those rear wheels. 30 miles a gallon is the combined fuel economy. That works out to about 27 city, 34 highway. Really, the only competition it has, I would say, is the BRZ from Subaru or the FRS, and they don't come in a convertible.
It's amazing. The competitors have come and gone on this, but there's nobody really stuck around like the Miata has.
No, what was the Sky? The Pontiac Sky and the Solstice. Was it the Pontiac Solstice and the Saturn Sky?
That's how impressed they are. You
Right.
can't remember.
It's kind
Right.
of like the Porsche 911. No one's really made a direct competitor to the 911. No
Right.
one's made close to it
it's
or
tough.
tried in their own form, but they're just not there.
$24,415 is probably the best news that you heard all day about this vehicle. So it's a lot of fun. Brad, what have you been driving?
I got a chance to drive the Fiat 500e, which is the all-electric Fiat. It's based on the same 500 that Fiat makes, and it's really proves that electric doesn't have to be boring in styling. It's 87-mile range, which I really found to be substantially less than that. More real-world driving was about 65 or 70.
Yeah, but you have the heating on to about 94 degrees and the windshield wiper.
Grandfather kind of stuff,
Radio
yes.
has to be on the old man,
Well, we are in
old
Oregon,
man.
so-
That's right. And the biggest downfall on this thing is it doesn't have the quick charge. We had talked about this before the show.
It's an option, I think, isn't it?
It's not on this vehicle. So when you're trying to go, you're driving it around and you want to take 20 minutes and charge it up on the quick charge, you can't do that. So at home, though, if you've got the 240-volt outlet, it only takes like 4 hours. But it is
you're
real.
at phase 3 you're talking about,
Yeah.
that quick charge. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about phase 2. All right. Phase 3 quick charge.
Right. But it still has the $7,500 federal tax credit and the $750 state credit. And so at $32,000, $33,000, it's right down there in the mid-20s, competes with the Leaf, but
I think the
much
best-
more fun.
The best advice we can give anybody on buying an electric car is lease it.
Absolutely. The lease deals are amazing.
Right. I have a friend who leased a Fiat 500e in California and ended up paying $69 a month after
Right.
all the credits.
There was a guy from Nike, big designer out there, who traded in I think his Miata or something. It was something small, and he said he could drive this car for free, what he saves in it, because he goes to Nike, charges it up, drives back home.
Right.
So it's, but the styling on this is just beautiful, and the colors and the options and the interior. Don't plan on putting anybody in the back seat, however. It's pretty micro tiny. It's a two-seater.
Do you know Gian Codez?
Yeah.
I've had Gian in the back. We decided to go to In-N-Out Burger when we were in California with this. Sean and I did.
Anybody will get in a back seat at 2 in the
yeah.
morning for In-N-Out.
Exactly. That's right. He's like, I'm getting in the back seat. I wanted an out that badly. So price?
Price on this, well, again, with the tax credits, it comes in at about $24,000.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. We should also possibly mention the fact that this has won a whole bunch of awards here in the Northwest.
Including ours.
Yes, it was the Green Vehicle of the Year. It's the Electric Vehicle of the Year. It continues to be quite a favorite for everybody. So a good little
And
car.
get the orange.
And get the orange.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, one of the things that the Italians do really well is make you, when you look at something, make you feel good about it. The fact is that they may make you feel good about this 500e, especially with that white and orange. So it's sort of a mixture of the two different colors, right?
It's really beautiful. I was going to say cute, but I think beautiful.
I like to see you driving a cute car more often, Brad.
Yeah, I did get a lot of jokes when I was trying to get out of it.
And really,
Yeah.
was it hard for you to get out?
It looked like a clown car at that point.
Really? How is there?
No, it was actually in the driver's seat. It was quite comfortable. It was fine.
Is there a device? Because I know there's devices. A lot of the time, people can get those, like for the bathroom to help you in and out of the bath. Is there a device? The bath. The bath.
The bath.
The bath.
I think I need that.
the little things that
I need
lift
the
you out of the
medical
bath.
medical table where I've got a button where the seat pushes me up.
Right. So
Perfect.
maybe what you need is we need to install a device in these test cars that swivels the chair, the driver's seat out, so you can put your legs out, and then ejects you kind of onto the street.
Just pushes me out.
Yeah, well, not violently ejecting you, but if you, so that, and then you could drive things like Lotuses and MX-5s, Miatas, because you could get out no problem, right?
Outstanding. It is embarrassing when you pull up Del Gaucho and it takes you 5 minutes to get out of the car to head over the keys.
Really?
It's a
doesn't.
tad, yeah.
What? You have 2 6-year-olds, don't you?
Yes. You mean I shouldn't be going Del Gaucho with 2 6-year-olds?
No, I'm just wondering why you probably get why you're so worn out. why you're so tired. It's probably because of the 60-year-olds.
Absolutely.
They're just driving me crazy. All right, still to come on Test Miles. We're going to talk about the smart car, if our guy from Smart calls us. And also, we're going to have Jim Brown in the studio. He's the big cheese over at Ron Tonkin Acura there in Beaverton. He's going to talk to us about some cool things, including the NSX. And Mark Scholes is here from Cars and Coffee. Boy, you want to stick around for the next 44 minutes because it's going to be a great show. You're listening to Test Miles on FM News 101 KXL. I'm your friend Nick Miles.
It's Test Miles on FM News 101.